The views and opinions expressed on this program are solely those of the host and guest and do not reflect the opinions or policies of the station, its owners, or its advertisers. All content should be considered editorial in nature. Listener discretion is advised. Well, everyone, good evening. Welcome back to the Carolina Cabinet live broadcast on this beautiful Monday evening.
This is the marathon.
It is the marathon. It really is.
Hope Mills.
I feel like I've seen almost everybody from Hope Mills this evening.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, we're missing a few, but
we are. Well, hopefully, the people watching, they'll start like, share, follow, give us some questions to put screws to Commissioner Bryan Marley. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening to you.
We have, so far this evening, we have spoken to Mayor Bellflowers. We have spoken to candidate Ronald Starling.
Yep.
Lots of law enforcement background there. Mr. Bellflowers has a lot of experience, military. He's an educator. So that brings us to you, Mr. Marley. So tell us about your background, like what do you do for a living, and tell us about running for office.
Well, I'm in emergency services. Been in emergency services now for almost 32 years.
Okay.
I work full-time in a neighboring county. I'm the emergency services director. I cover the emergency management department, fire marshal's office, and volunteer here in the county at a fire department.
Okay. All right. Well, so I didn't do the actual dialogue, but, I do want to say this. So, I wanted to introduce you as a man that some people call steady and a lot of people call silent, because you're kind of a soft.
Very soft. I've been told that a lot.
But
I don't see you out there yelling and carrying on. But
supporter of the censure, but quiet when it came to the facts. I think you have some explaining to do.
Oh, okay. So let's jump
Get
right in.
It.
Yeah, let's just get in there. So we discussed this at length with Mayor Bellflower. So. Our opinion, I guess, of the cabinet, or are just looking at the is it statutes, or what are we looking at? Ordinance or statutes?
I was looking at. I don't even know where I found the information from.
And you were just rattling them off. Okay, so there's procedure in place for town.
So long story short, I'll tell you. Everybody wants to know why. Everybody wants to know the ins and outs. There's some things we can say. I'm sure Mayor Bellflower's probably told you. There's certain things we're able to discuss, some things we aren't. I'll tell you personally why I made the motion, why I put it on the agenda, why I made the motion to do what I did. This wasn't just this incident.
Mm-hmm.
This was a culmination of 2 years of openly speaking. And when a board member's out in public and they are representing the board and they're openly speaking, they represent everybody. Okay. In this situation, I don't really know how to say it, but this was basically like a shot heard around the world.
Okay. So
and it picked up a lot of traction. Personally, myself, it was. There is a video. I will tell you that there is a video. There are several people that came forward with complaints, came forward and were very outspoken about it. It picked up a lot of traction. This is something morally and that had to be done.
Okay.
There's a lot of people that live in Hope Mills, a lot of different backgrounds of people. There's a lot of different backgrounds that work for the town. Okay. I myself am not going to be grouped into that category. I'm not going to be considered, I'll say it, I'm not going to be considered a racist. That's not how I am. I treat people the way I want to be treated. This one commissioner has been open and vocal in the community before on Facebook, on certain Facebook groups about her plans for the election, what she wants to happen if she can get 2 people to go with her and vote with her, what she wants to do to certain employees of the town. And, that's fire certain employees. And you can't go around saying that when you have employees that essentially work for you, you cannot create an environment like that. You can't. So you're speaking openly for the board. My main thing is morally and ethically the right thing to do. Like I said, it wasn't just this one thing. The investigation that's going on right now that we can't really talk too much about, a lot of things will come to light after that. People say you jumped the gun, It's
Well, and
witch
okay,
hunt.
so if you may, let me interrupt you. So the perception is okay that you all went into closed session on last Monday.
But that was in regards to personal.
Well, and that's what we found out with
personnel
Mr.
issues.
Bellflowers. But see, the perception is, and that's what was written in City View and other things, was y'all went into closed session. You decided to do whatever. You hired someone. Then you came out and said, hey, Commissioner Craver, censure, without giving her the due process. Now, when did you first hear about the comments allegedly made by Commissioner Craver, and did you speak to her before the censure?
This was probably, I don't have the dates wrote down, but the incident happened September 11th. It was at a local business in town.
We can just say it's Southern Hibachi. My producer here was new to the country. I said, we got to have Southern Hibachi. He says, what the hell is that? So,
well, but, I mean, it was at a local business in town. So when that came in, it was in public. It was in public that it occurred. We did the mayor called a special meeting. We went into closed session. Ms. Craver was in closed session with us. She heard the discussion. She knew all about it. The claims that she didn't know what was happening, didn't know this, that, or nothing about an investigation. I'll be honest with you, they're all false.
Okay.
Now the censure was on me because, like I said, morally and ethically, I'm not going to be grouped into that group, and I'm not going to have that perception of me. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
You can think what you want to.
Let me ask a question
that's
right
not
there.
The way I am.
So you're saying you don't want to be grouped in with her. So, because she made a comment, how does that make it just because you serve with her? You're saying that that's the way you would be perceived? The perception
of the citizens of the town at this point, and I'll be honest with you, the perception of the citizens of the town and a majority of the employees that work for the town think that that's the way we are, and we're not that way. Her views. So
you were trying to prove a point?
Exactly. Her views are not my views. Her views and her feelings and her beliefs do not reflect that town.
The consensus of the board.
The consensus of the board. We will have integrity. There will be morals, and that's what we stand for, and we strive to do that through transparency and.
So you say there's a video and there's no sound. So do you have proof, and that's why you censored her?
I don't know. Ask her why she went to the restaurant and tried to get them to erase the tape.
I'm asking you.
I'm telling you. I don't know. Ask her. Ask her. Ask her.
And she will be. She will be here on Wednesday, so we plan on doing just that.
You know, everybody comes at us,
right?
Like, hey,
well, we're trying to understand.
Yes,
it's looking for transparency.
I'm telling. Yeah, I know. And like I said, the
everybody
investigation
votes for you and for Craver and for Bellflower separately. So you're all your own people. And I understand where you're coming from about you don't want to be misperceived, as that's a consensus of the board, that you're hostile towards any group of people, whether it's racial or otherwise. But the question was, did you speak to her before you moved toward the censure? So did you?
That's something I did on my own.
Okay. So you took that out of your own volition.
Listen, I'll tell you right now, I'll take full responsibility for it. I did it on my own.
Okay.
Okay. If she didn't know it was coming, that's on her.
Okay. Did I say he was soft-spoken before? Because he's not being soft-spoken now, and I like it. I'm here for it.
Well, I know. I mean,
I'm here for it.
And I'm sorry, but, you know, I'm tired of, you know, getting blamed for a lot of things. But I'm going to tell you right now, I'll take full responsibility for it.
For speaking to her ahead of time.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So you're saying you spoke to her, she knew it was coming, and all of this.
I didn't speak to her, and I'll be honest with you, I didn't speak to her about it. No, I didn't. I did speak to our attorney about it. I went to our attorney for guidance. I asked our attorney to draft a resolution that I could read in open session because I didn't want to say anything wrong. I didn't want to.
Is that what you read Monday?
That's what I read Monday night. It was a resolution that I asked the attorney to prepare for me.
Okay.
And that's what I read. Now, I did get a second, and we voted on it. There was some discussion, and it was a 3-2 vote.
3-2.
So obviously 2 other commissioners felt strongly enough about it that they went with me on the censure.
Well, the accused and Commissioner Legg, right? Was that the one? Okay. So are you aware?
So let me ask you this. You know, if you're not guilty of anything, why wouldn't you vote for the investigation when we did the investigation?
We're talking
about the censure. But
we live in America, and you're innocent until proven guilty. So let's not say that. Why wouldn't you do this? I'm not gonna.
If you're running around telling everybody you're not innocent or you're innocent, excuse me. If you're running around telling everybody you're not innocent or you are innocent, I'm sorry I said that again, and you believe that, when we did the investigation at the board meeting, it was on the agenda. She knew we were doing the investigation. If you don't have anything to hide, don't you want somebody to investigate you? Wouldn't you vote to be investigated?
I think that's our concern. And, innocent until proven guilty kind of rationale. Was she offered due process, and was she, from your perspective, was that the last step you could have taken besides saying, hey, we're going to investigate, and then by the next meeting, we're going to censure her? It just kind of felt like, from the public perspective, that it happened really quickly, because we don't know the inside baseball that happens in a closed session or whatever else. Yeah. So
it's the treatment of our town staff after every event we have on Facebook, degrading town staff. It's out there. Look it up.
Is that from Commissioner Craver, or is that coming from
her Facebook page, from her post on several different groups? Okay.
Well, what about the complaints against the town manager and the assistant manager? Why were those not treated with equal concern?
We don't have an assistant manager, so I don't know where that's coming from. But the complaints about the town manager, that's a personnel matter, and that was investigated. There was an internal investigation.
Were they censured prior to the investigation?
Was who?
Whoever.
Commissioner Craver?
Or the manager.
Is that all tied in together? The complaint from the local business and from town staff, is that all kind of muddied together now?
Yeah,
it's all grouped. Yeah. Okay, so we have really one incident, not really separate.
And it's not just. And I tell you, just like Mayor Bellflower said earlier, I caught a little bit of his video. You get one, it's one thing, but when you have multiple of the same and different people coming, it's been this ain't something that happened a couple of days ago, a couple of weeks ago. This ain't just one incident. I'm telling you, It has been, and you will see when the investigation's done, the complaints, they were thorough, they were well described, they were pages long, and all that's been turned over to the investigator to do his due diligence. And when the report comes out, it'll all be answered.
Okay, so when the report comes out and she is found guilty, let's pretend for just a moment that she is. That's the time that you censure her, not I censure her and then let's go do an investigation. Don't you think?
The time for me to censor her is whenever her beliefs aren't matching my beliefs and I'm getting grouped.
Oh, no, sir.
No. And I'm getting grouped. That was a public.
This sounds personal.
You can call it whatever you want to call it. I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to be running around that town, representing representing our employees, representing our citizens, being called racist. I'm not going to do it.
I was told you do have an assistant manager. It's your finance director and is named by your former Melissa Adams is your assistant manager. Is that?
No, she's a former town manager.
Okay.
The only town manager I know of that we've approved, that this board has approved, is Chancellor McLaughlin.
Okay.
But do you find that, because I found where I was, let's see.
Okay, so I think, Brian, what I'm trying to suss out, and again, we know there's attorney-client privilege. We know there are other, I said the inside baseball, okay? But why go straight to censure if the option remained for you as a board member to say, look.
I'll tell you what, let's do this. I'll tell you what, I'll clear it up for you, okay? I took full credit for it. When that investigation comes out, and I'll tell you this, I'm a man of my word, and I'll do it. When that investigation comes out, if there is no wrongdoing, no findings whatsoever, I will go back in that boardroom publicly and apologize and take that censure back. I will do that. Put it on record right now.
Okay, and that's kind of what I was getting at was instead of just going straight to it, which is done. It's horses left the stables done.
I wouldn't want it done again in the future, though.
No, but
if it's not addressed now, then how can we change it for the future?
I feel like a little kid. When little kids do like this, they. Okay, so what I'm trying to say was, Brian, as a commissioner on the board, you still had the option to stand up and say, look, there's stuff going around Facebook right now about another commissioner, And I want everybody to know that
Have you
those feelings or those sentiments are not shared by this board, and we are going to investigate.
And I know this is going to sound bad when I say it, but have you been watching our meetings and watching our mayor at the beginning of every meeting, having to dispel lies and rumors every meeting from these Facebook pages?
I have
Welcome to
been,
public office.
Yes.
Hey, and I signed my name on the dotted line, and I got it. But I'm telling you right now what the truth is, because they're not telling the whole story. They're telling their side. They're not telling the whole story.
Well, everybody's the hero in their own story. Let's be
That's
honest.
exactly right.
I mean,
there's their side, there's my side, and then there's the middle, what really happened.
Right.
Okay,
Agreed.
there's three sides to every story. So,
well, do you disagree that that was an option, that you could have said, look, I'm Brian, I don't agree with whatever's going on, but we're going to investigate? I just feel like it was
you're
quick,
right. You could have, but that ain't
the
way I did it.
You just felt stronger about
that. Ain't the way I did it.
Okay, all right.
Would you, if somebody made allegations against you, would you want to?
I'd expect it to do the same thing.
Oh.
I want everybody should be held accountable for their actions. If I'm out there speaking for everybody, and I'm making these comments and everything, somebody should call my hand.
Allegedly, there's been no investigation, and she hasn't been found to have done it. Yeah. So
you can call it allegedly this, allegedly that. You can call it whatever you want. I did the censure, and
but I mean, according to the Constitution that you took an oath for, you swore that you would follow the Constitution, and part of the Constitution is you are innocent until what's that key word?
Just like I said,
proven.
If she's proven,
but you censured her prior to her being proven guilty.
Well, I mean, you can censor for anything.
You can.
There's no. You can censor anybody for anything.
But if it wasn't probably during election period, then it would probably be less of an issue. But you're literally hurting her reputation.
This is more of a moral thing and an integrity thing than it was.
Well, unfortunately, the timing and the again, we are looking at it from the exterior lens looking in. Okay. So, and I said to Mayor Bear Flowers,
when I was reading this, I was mad.
Oh
my God. I love the Constitution. I pray to it at nighttime after I pray to God.
So, we're looking through the lens. I told Mayor Bellflowers, this is not House of Cards. It's Town of Hope Mills, but the timing and the lens and the view lends itself to be what's called the October surprise. We know that Commissioner Craver has maybe had some opposition.
I didn't tell her to make the alleged.
Yeah, well, again, but the way that it seemed to be hurriedly
and
brought out.
I didn't tell the people to come forward in October and file the claims.
Okay.
That's not my doing.
But if this has been going on for a while, why wait?
We've been behind closed doors. We've asked her. We've talked to her. We've suggested things like, "Hey, calm down out there. Okay, you want to get transparent? Let's get transparent about this stuff. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. The audits is a big thing. The state audits is a big thing. Okay. Yeah, the state audits and everything. So every time we have a meeting, every time we have a closed session, the very next day, there's always public records request. After every meeting, it just keeps coming. Everything that happens, somehow, some way, somebody's getting information about what's said in closed session. Okay? Just so happens the same people that she's aligned with are the ones that are making, the same person is making a request. The state audits.
Okay.
Everything that's being sent to the state auditor or whatever to come down to do the investigation.
How narrow or wide are those audits? Can we talk
they're
about
on some specific issues.
It's a wide range. It's everything from business expenses,
travel to Florida,
to a conference, to a legit conference. Nothing to hide about that. Matter of fact, the manager explained that last board meeting.
So it's not just like on Parks and Rec.
It's all the way down to a fishing derby, cottontail trail. It's now they want to audit all the closed session minutes and everything. Mm-hmm. So every audit request or whatever that's been sent in can be tied back to a public records request by the same person.
Okay.
What's wrong with that? That's
there ain't nothing wrong with it, but I don't know what they're looking for. It's taken a lot of man hours. It's taken a lot of our employees' time that they could be using to do other things in the town than chasing witch hunts, if you want to call it that. I don't know what you want to call it.
But at the same time,
I don't know what they're looking for. Why don't we get them on here and get them to go ahead and tell us what they're looking for and what they hope to get out of it, and we can provide that to them.
Okay.
As a citizen, if I think that you guys are doing, I'm going to bombard you with FOIA requests because
But
I
you're
want to
not-
know what's going
but
on.
I can tell you now, you won't find nothing. And we welcome it. We welcome it. Everything they get, our town manager he calls that department head, hey, get it to them now. Get it to them now.
Well,
we don't hold information.
that is a
We
different
have nothing
attitude
to hide.
than I think in Hope County, where the newspaper had to sue their county commission to do FOIA requests, and they're still in the middle of that. So citizens want transparency,
But we
I
have
think
an open book.
well, the thing is, we have audits coming, and everybody, like in the last election, was all up. We want Doge. We want to Doge everything for reason or not reason. Now, just because they have an audit doesn't mean there's wrongdoing, and they're being investigated
Right.
for to make sure they stuck by the rules.
And if I can have a personal point of privilege,
of course,
I will say that just when Mayor Bellflowers was here, he was very open and non-combative. And so I felt like he was very open and transparent. And my conversation so far with you, I'm not getting that. I find you very defensive, which makes me think, okay, I'm telling you how you're perceived by me, that you're very defensive, and now I want to go file a FOIA. I don't know what for, but I want to file a FOIA right now.
Well, we welcome it.
it's probably because you're standing and she's sitting. So
no, because he was standing too. I'm just saying based on the way you could. But it could be a perception thing.
If that's the perception, that's not what I'm trying to.
Okay.
I'm just telling you, there's a lot of misinformation out there. There's a lot of people out there talking, and nobody's, and I'll tell you, in my opinion, crucify me if you want to, but they're not telling the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? They're not telling the truth.
I understand that, and I understand getting defensive because people are lying about you, because that happens to me all the time.
I mean, everyone has their limits. I think we have encountered that in our own party.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
At a certain time, you just want people to go back to the rock from which they crawled, and we need to discuss the election results too, because he certainly did 6.66% of the vote. So congratulations, loser.
You talking about, that's one reason why we went ahead with the investigation, and
Jim knows the inside baseball over here. So
yeah, it ain't no problem.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, that's why we greenlit the investigation. The board greenlit the investigation, because we want to get to the bottom of it, and we want to move on. That's all. We want the truth to come out, and I want the truth to come out. Lifelong resident of Hope Mills. I love the town. I lived there. I worked there for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I really care about the town, and in my perception, there's a group of people that's working hard to tear that town apart. And why you would want to tear a town that you live in apart like that, I do not know.
I will say that based on your personal thing, that you're a firefighter or whatever, so I do believe that you care wholeheartly, and I believe that you're
a services heart.
That's exactly right.
He loved giving me inspections at the restaurant, probably fining. Now, he never fined me, I don't think, but yeah, he didn't mind writing up something. So he does. He is a service oriented individual.
But part of being an elected official is being questioned, and based on what goes on as we as citizens see it. When we feel like we're not getting the full story, then we immediately, it's just human nature, go to the most negative place.
If you don't think you're getting the truth, But I want to let y'all know, and let everybody out there that's listening know, we as this board can't, prior boards, but I can tell you the boards that I've been on, especially this board right here, to include Ms. Craver and whoever, we welcome any request that comes in for information. We welcome it. We'll gladly give whatever information you need. We'll get it as soon as we can. Our town manager is he's an open book. He's great. Like I said, anytime anything comes in, hey, get this information. I need it now. I need you to get this information in. So, I welcome the audits too. We welcome the audits. Anything, and if there's any findings, we'll correct it.
So now, is this investigation just about Miss Commissioner Craver, or is this about the personnel issues also?
It's all.
Is it the
all
interactions of her with it's still her and the town employees now?
It's
okay. That's what I didn't understand. I thought we had a town manager out of control creating an environment, but you're saying Miss Craver is being looked at for
these
all of her interactions.
I think I misunderstood it too. I thought they were investigating not just her interactions.
No, the manager's not being investigated.
Right. Okay. So
the investigation is all focused on Commissioner Craver
and her interactions with the public and the town
personnel.
Officials.
Right.
Okay.
What's the word you used? Alleged.
Right.
Yes. Alleged. I use that a lot when I admit stuff on Facebook. Allegedly, I did that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But no, but seriously though, like the mayor explained, a lot of that's tied up in investigation right now. So I don't really know what I can say. I know the manager, not the manager, but the mayor had asked the attorney for guidance with statements and so forth, and the board was do a collective statement when people had questions during the investigation.
Okay. And I believe I brought up to the City View articles that did say that no one returned call for comment.
I did not. I didn't. I mean, I didn't see it till it was
okay.
It was late. To be honest with you, I mean, I know that sounds like a good excuse, but no, I didn't. I didn't see the email. So
okay, all right. Well,
Okay.
look, you're an elected. You have a lot of stuff coming at you, and sometimes something's going to slip. But
So let's change subjects.
let's do that, please.
So you have fire service background. How does that shape you, your public safety priorities, and do you have any conflict of interest safeguards that we need to know about?
no, ma'am. I don't have any. As far as like public safety background and stuff that I'm a champion of is recruitment and retention is a big thing. I think that's a big problem with our town now. I mean, town-wide with all employees, but mainly with police department.
How
and
big
fire
is your
department.
police department and fire department? How many personnel in those?
I couldn't tell you the exact number.
Okay.
Right off the top of my head, I don't have.
Do you have an ideal number? An ideal number of how many you're
For the
supposed
police
to have?
department, I mean, 30 sworn officers, 50.
I have no idea.
Okay.
Be honest with you.
This is why we don't prep guests. See, we don't. We want to.
Yeah,
know,
I don't know. I don't know the exact number, and I'd hate to say something wrong to you.
Okay.
But recruitment and retention is a big thing. This board commissioned a pay study. Pay study came back. We voted to move forward with that pay study and make adjustments to employee salaries across the board from top to bottom to bring employees up to a medium or to be competitive.
The compression thing.
Yeah, to be competitive. We got some employees and you don't want to see a 5, 10, 15-year employee leave you for more money.
Right.
I mean, that's the nature of the beast, and we're right here at Fort Bragg, so we can't compete with federal money, and we can't compete with federal jobs, and we don't. I don't blame anybody for bettering themselves and making more money and moving on, but if we can keep them there in the town and have good experienced people working for the town, that's what we need to do.
We need to spend some money on some more recruitment and retention. I because we are coming up on 30 minutes, and we do have Commissioner Scarola coming by 7:30, I think. But I want to pivot to property taxes. I think I spoke to you and I said it looks like y'all went crazy with the rate, but then you had a different perspective on the budget as a whole and everything. So tell us about why you feel like Hope Mills needed to take such a large increase in the rate, but what were we missing?
There were certain factors that contributed to the rate that we set this year. We'll go back and we'll start at the beginning, with the property tax revaluation. I think the revenue neutral was 31 cents is what it came back in Hope Mills.
And revenue neutral, for those watching, means you get the same amount of money you did last year. No matter the rate the cost went up, you still get the same money. Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
So with that, the county commissioners, they moved forward with changing the sales tax distribution that the municipalities in Cumberland County receive. Hope Mills took a $2 million loss.
How big is your budget anyway?
A little over $18 million.
So
probably
$2 million into
close,
18. That's
probably
pretty big.
Pretty close to. We're getting pretty close to 19. We passed the biggest budget in the history of the town this year. So right off the bat, starting with 31 cents, we had to make up $2 million just to keep the same standard that we were at last year. So that was 10 cent basically increase to recoup that $2 million that we relied on. Now, saying that, we could have, there's a lot of things we could have done. We could have kept it at 31 cents, but
Okay, where's the rate now?
it's at 48.
Okay, so but 10 cents of that was to make up for Cumberland County's.
To make up to $2 million.
Okay.
Yes,
okay,
sir.
so we're at 41 cents. Where'd the other 7 cents come from?
The other 7 cents is basically tied to public safety. Everyone knows that the sheriff at the time came to the municipalities in Cumberland County and said, "Hey, we're no longer going to provide SROs."
He didn't go to you. He just sent you a letter and said, "You got June 30th. Hey, I'm out."
Yeah,
that's all he did.
Yeah, basically 30 days. It's on you.
Mm-hmm.
So the board went with the board got together with the manager, the police chief. The board directed the manager to come up with a plan and bring it back to us because we knew we needed to put protection in those schools. We knew we weren't going to let the schools go without some type of protection to kids. So we took it on our back this year.
What did you do to solve that issue? What ended up happening? Did you hire private security? You just put police in there? What did you
do? We hired, I believe it was eight SRO officers.
Okay.
One for each school?
I think there was one for each school in Hope Mills, which I think is 7 schools. Mm-hmm. And they hired one extra like supervisor kind of fill-in person. And with that, we had to hire a lot of part-time help as well for crossing guards because we had no crossing guards either.
And that's what the other 7 cents is, crossing guards.
How much do you think y'all spent on that? Just having
it's close to probably about $3 million. By the time you because you had, not only with salary, you had the car, uniforms. You had to outfit the officer. Salary. Benefits,
so basically, Hope Mills got some surprise bills. I hate that word. Like I watch TV and I see like, have you got a surprise bill? Come do your payday loan or whatever.
No,
what's surprise? You didn't know it really was a surprise.
Well, because of the sheriff.
Yeah.
So we, but I will tell you this: we had to make a lot of hard decisions. We made a lot of cuts in the budget. We went back to the manager, back and forth with the manager.
What'd you cut?
A couple of times.
What'd you cut?
I want to know.
Actually, positions. There was a lot of positions. Nobody lost a job. Let me take that back. Nobody lost a job, but there was a lot of positions that were asked for by different departments in the budget that's been asked for 2 or 3 years. And, we just didn't feel like we could do it.
So were those positions funded and just not filled, or were they just being requested to be added?
They were requested to be added.
Okay.
So we tried to maintain a level of service that we had now. We had to hire police officers to put in the schools. We had to make up the $2 million. So that took us, at the end of the day, basically that took us to 48 cents, which is 3 cents from what it was at 51 cents.
So, yeah, I'm not trying to advocate for higher taxes, but it sounds like they had to backfill. But that's not the story that I'm being seen or told on the Facebooks and the keyboard warriorness.
Right.
I'm being told you're just a bunch of money grubbing, greedy.
No, we tried to be very responsible. We always try to be very responsible with taxpayer dollars.
Okay, so now you've raised the taxes. Now, what happens when a budget slips and goes above what you have allocated for that? How will you communicate and course correct so that taxes don't go up again next year?
That'd be a good question for the manager. Really, because to be honest with you.
Well, you hired the manager, don't you?
Yeah, we hired the manager. So what we do at the beginning of the budget cycle, the mayor has a good plan in place for the budget cycle. We have several meetings before we actually get into budget for our priorities, and we sit down and talk to each department head, get their wants, or what's your wants, but what's your needs. And basically, we direct the manager, hey, this is what we want. We want a balanced budget, no tax increase, make it happen.
Okay.
And it's up to him and the finance director to bring the board back, because we don't per se, we vote on the budget that's presented.
Do you have an ability to tear out?
Yeah, we can.
That's what I was just going to ask. Is there a budget line that you're like, no, that's a no?
We do that in our budget meetings, our budget hearings. We review the budget. It's presented to us, and then we have a public hearing to get citizen input on the budget. And
when did you have a public hearing for the budget? Just around about month, June, July, May, something like that.
It was probably end of May, first part of June.
And how many citizens showed up?
None. I mean, you get the regulars. You get 2 or 3.
So then some did show.
Yeah, you get a couple. I mean, it's probably about
because
like
you recognize
like,
the people that do participate, even if it's just a few.
yeah, yeah. We have regular citizens that come to every board meeting, and
We call
we
them
welcome that.
engaged.
Yeah,
Yes.
they were
Okay.
very engaged, and
All right.
we enjoy that. We wish we had a whole board room full of people every other Monday night. Hey, come out to the board meeting. I'll invite everybody now. We because
Well, you had a full
as
house
a
last
board,
I was
Monday.
going to say,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Somehow you had a
So,
full house on the night that somebody
Sure
was being
did.
censured.
Yes.
so but yeah, we'd love to see a packed house every night, just for the simple fact if people aren't coming forward and telling us what we need to hear, if we don't hear anything, then we think everything's fine and everything's good. So, when we have citizen input, public hearings, um, appreciate you coming Saturday, taking your time out to come Saturday.
Yes.
But like I say, there was nobody there
Well,
Saturday.
yeah, we mentioned that with Mayor Bellflowers. If it wasn't for y'all bringing your spouses, there would have been like 10 other
There wouldn't
people.
have been nobody there. So yeah, we'd love to have more citizen input, especially with the Hope Mills Land Use Plan to kick off meeting on 28th. We need all citizen input that we can get on that plan.
Well, I'm not a citizen, but I'm going to give you one little bite of input. I looked for Mills Days on your website. It's not on the website. When I Googled it, I found a listing from 2019, but it is on Distinctly Fayetteville's website. Might want to send a message to the county manager or
that's
city
kind
manager.
of the Old Mill Days.
Yeah.
Debbie Jones, the Hope Mills Police Foundation,
Yeah.
they're the ones that actually put Old Mill Days on. So they probably got it advertised.
Well, you got to put a shout
I
out
was
on
gonna
the,
say
on the
that-
town
I
website.
was gonna- the town
there's-
website should
there's
have
not
everything,
that much
yeah.
going on in Hope Mills, So yeah, I'm not a citizen out there. I live in Fayetteville. However, I own property there, so I am still interested in what happens out there. So
Can we talk about the 4-year staggered terms?
yes, go right ahead.
Okay. How'd you vote? Why?
I voted for it.
Why?
For
In 2018, the voters said no.
They did. I feel like it was the right time for the town of Hope Mills to take that step and move forward. Just for continuity of government, it helps. Like I told them Saturday, and I brought this with me in case it was asked, but because 4 of the 5 commissioners that are on the board now have been together for the last 4 years, this is a list of accomplishments that we've been able to finish. We've started the land use plan. Not the land use plan, but the strategic plan for the town. This was the second time that we started. We were actually able to complete it this time, and that's an important document that's going to work with our land use plan when that gets done for the vision and growth of the town and citizen input. The strategic plan, we incorporated a lot of citizen input, what they wanted to see in the town, how they felt the town should be moving.
How do you obtain the citizen input? What's the most?
If nobody's showing up to the meeting.
Well, there was we had a outside agency come in and do the plan. They engaged people at several.
She was just like, oh, another consultant.
You need somebody from the
Well,
outside to come in and tell you what to do in your own community.
Borrow your watch and tell you what time it is.
That's
It's okay, Brian.
yeah.
Keep going.
I mean, that's not your fault.
Keep
It's
going,
just so
Commissioner. Keep
frustrating
going.
to me.
It is. I understand, but went to different events in the town, like opening day. That was a big event. We have practically half the towns out there at the ballpark. There was a table set up there. We put a census on the website and asked people to go on there, fill it out, questionnaire that way. But that should be coming back to us here shortly. So
Okay. So 4-year staggered terms, you're for it. Continuity of government, bench strength. You had a list of accomplishments with you. Do you mind emailing that to me? Because I'd share it with your. I'll share it with your
you can
episode.
make a copy of it now if you want.
I got no copy here.
So, but I mean, just a lot of things we were able to get done for community
Let's
betterment.
rattle off 2 or 3 of them. Let's hear it.
Okay. Well, we got our all-inclusive playground finished. We basically did an overhaul of the park. They've updated playground equipment. We got Reed's Journey that partner with us for the inclusive playground. Our splash pad's up and running now. We've redone the basketball courts. Phase 1 of Heritage Park has been completed. We're embarking on Phase 2.
What did Phase 1 entail? What did we do out there?
It was a right there where the spillway is, the dam, the spillway, the flume. There, they were able to rehab that, salvage a lot of that.
Okay.
It's got storyboards. It's a nice open green space. That's the first phase of Heritage Park. We just received, notice of funding through part of grants, matching grants to get Phase 2 underway. So we're really excited about that. Just
so there are some
just
successes.
A lot of things, quality of life.
Right.
That sounds nice. Now I do have one question from the people.
That's what I was saying. We're coming up on 40 minutes here.
Yep,
so
and this is
the
one. How many people showed up to support the term change? And I have to say that I am for longer terms. I am pro for staggered terms because of what Fayetteville City is facing right now. But anyway, how many showed up that were for the term change, and how many showed up that were against it? And remember that the council can, or the commissioners can vote.
They have the authority to do it without a vote. Yeah.
Right.
I will tell you this, and you probably know, all y'all probably know, you're not new to this. And so the only people that come to board meetings are the people that have problems.
Right.
And the only people you hear from are the ones that have concerns or don't agree with what you're doing. And that's fine. I mean, we need to know that too. But the greater majority that is out there that sees you in public, hey, I'm for it, everything. They're not going to come to the meetings because they don't have a problem with it. They don't.
So what can you do to engage them to make them come so that the naysayers can see the opposite side? Because if you're a naysayer and all you hear is naysaying, you need to hear from the people that are for it. So what can you do to engage some of the public to get them there?
That's a good question. And be honest with you, if you could tell me how to do it, or
I'll work on it.
Tell us how to do it. No, I mean,
let's throw her a consulting gig.
I'm a consultant, and I charge $450 an hour.
Chancellor McLaughlin, get with him tomorrow.
Okay.
But no, seriously, we have we advertise public hearings on matters, and it's not there.
Show some pictures of how many people show up. Maybe, look, we have to, I hate to say it, but sometimes I think we need to guilt the populace into showing up because they show out on social media or whatever else. It's like, look, just come to the meeting. But the problem is you got people that, well, the majority of us are trying to work and take care of family and pay a mortgage.
It's hard
for
a man and woman.
I agree.
Everybody. But you can't miss all of them. You can get one once in a while, I would think.
Yeah. It's hard for a husband and wife to work full time, have 2 or 3 kids, and they got sports over here.
Oh, I was a single mom, so I understand completely.
Yep. And they're never at the same place at the same time, and so it just luckily, some people don't have that. They can come. Well, some choose not to.
It is a pipe dream to think we can get everyone engaged and everybody to show up, but I would like to see. I mean.
But as a consultant, I'll make that happen.
We haven't even touched on the City of Fayetteville primary election and the turnout there, but we will in here in just a minute. Do we have any other? And first of all, thank you for watching this evening. This extended marathon version of the cabinet.
Yeah, we got one more.
Do we have one more?
No. We have one more person coming in from Hope Mills.
We do have one more commissioner, but do we have any more questions?
No more questions. I have
really?
asked them all. Yes.
Really?
Yep. It was earlier. They were very engaged with the whole censure thing. Me too, because they were very.
I heard they didn't like him and stuff. And he seems like he's such a hostile guest.
I'm not going to make all the comments.
And I want to say, and I do want to say, I apologize if I came off very defensive in the beginning. I start talking, and I get involved.
I understand completely because I have had that same problem where I am seen as aggressive, and I'm not being aggressive. I'm being assertive. Yeah. So it is: are you intimidating, or am I intimidated?
Right. Ain't nobody scared over there.
But no, but yeah. So
tell us about your campaign and where they can find out more information.
I don't have a campaign Facebook page, and I don't have a campaign website. So
my Lord!
My phone number, I can give you my phone number.
We are the campaign, the Candidate Resource Center, and we actually can help you with that.
Thank you.
You have to hit us up next time. So what's your phone number, Brian? How can people reach you?
910-964 4876.
And email, what is it for the town? Maybe we could reach you there.
B. Marley at townofhopemills.com, I believe it is.
And Marley with an L-E-Y, M-A-R-L-E-Y.
Yes. Thank y'all for having me.
Thank you so very
Thank
much,
you so much
Brian.
for being here. And to everybody watching, just stay tuned. We're going to exit this. We're going to come back with a brand new link, and we're going to see Commissioner Joanne Scarollo coming up next.